When my son told me I wasn't welcome at his house for Christmas, I didn't argue. I didn't yell. I didn't plead. I didn't even ask why. I just nodded, smiled faintly, and walked away. But inside, a part of me shattered. That smile? It was nothing but a mask, hiding the hurt of a man who had been told by his own child that he wasn't worthy to sit at his table. I had raised that boy. I worked long nights, sacrificed my own health, skipped meals so he could have more than I ever did. I gave him not just my money, but my heart. And now, because of whispers from his wife, he was closing the door on me, labeling me an embarrassment. I got into my car and drove. But my thoughts were a storm, swirling with pain, fury, betrayal, and beneath it all, determination. He believed he could erase me, that I was disposable. But he was wrong. I had built more, knew more, and had more connections than he could ever comprehend. If he wanted me gone, I would give him exactly that, but I'd take everything he thought untouchable in return. That night, I made a single phone call. Just one. By New Year's, their mortgage was wiped out. The house they flaunted, the one decorated for holidays I was never invited to see, it was no longer theirs. And that was just the beginning. I wasn't always this cold. I was a father who gave everything, even when I had nothing. But my son mistook kindness for weakness. Fueled by arrogance and a wife determined to erase me, he thought I was insignificant. That arrogance would cost him everything. Piece by piece, I dismantled his world. His luxury car repossessed. The job he boasted about? Let's just say his boss learned a few uncomfortable truths about his timekeeping. His friends, the ones who smirked at me like I didn't belong, they slowly drifted away, convinced by subtle revelations I carefully placed. One by one, he was left alone, surrounded only by the hollow echoes of his pride. And I watched every step, not with joy, but with a grim satisfaction. This wasn't about money or petty revenge.
It was about respect.
About teaching him that blood is not something you discard like waste. When he said, "You're not welcome," he thought he was closing a door. In reality, he had opened the gates of a war he couldn't win. Unlike him, I knew how to finish what I began. By spring, the perfect facade crumbled. His wife, the one who cheered my exile, packed and left as the bills piled up and comforts vanished. Friends disappeared. The job vanished. The car, the house, all gone. And finally, my son, the boy who once thought he towered over me, returned, crawling back not for money, not for favors, but with tears in his eyes and a voice trembling as he whispered, "Dad, I'm sorry." I let him sit in silence. He needed to feel the weight of his choices, the consequence of arrogance. When he finally admitted the truth and acknowledged he was wrong, I gave him the one thing left to offer: forgiveness. But only after he understood that respect must be earned, and arrogance always comes with a price. Justice had been restored. If you love this story and crave more tales of karma hitting harder than anyone expected, subscribe to Revenge Twist, where every ending is colder, sharper, and more satisfying than the last.